See you at the race.
Yes, you will see, Francesco. Like this. He is so getting beat tomorrow.
Us Americans are clearly master spies.
Excuse me, ma'am.
This cannot be. From the moment Cars 2 begins, it becomes clear that this isn't just another story about racing and friendship. It's an adventure on a global scale that tests the limits of loyalty, courage, and what it truly means to be a hero. Lightning McQueen, the famous race car whose speed and determination have always been unmatched, is at the heart of the story. And yet this time, the world itself becomes a character in the narrative, pushing him and his best friend Mater far beyond the familiar roads of Radiator Springs. Lightning has dreams bigger than ever, his eyes set firmly on the World Grand Prix, a race that will bring together the fastest, most skilled, and most determined cars from all over the globe. For him, it's about proving himself, about showing that he can dominate not just locally, not just nationally, but on a scale that spans continents. Every twist of the track, every sharp turn, and every daring maneuver brings him closer to the ultimate glory. And yet, this journey is as much about growth and self-discovery as it is about speed. Mater, by contrast, is the heart of the story. His unassuming charm, his good humor, and his unwavering loyalty make him more than just a sidekick. He is the emotional compass that grounds Lightning even as the adventure reaches dizzying new heights. When they head overseas for the first ever World Grand Prix, Mater doesn't just tag along. He stumbles into a world of espionage, intrigue, and danger that is completely outside his comfort zone. What starts as a simple visit to see the international racing scene quickly escalates into a high-stakes adventure when he meets Finn McMissile, the debonair British spy with gadgets, charm, and secrets as slick as his paint job. Finn introduces Mater to a side of the world Mater never knew existed, a world where information is currency and danger can strike at any moment, often when it is least expected. The dynamic between Lightning and Mater is central to the narrative. Lightning is focused, ambitious, and laser-focused on the championship. His drive for excellence is inspiring, but it also risks making him oblivious to the bigger picture, to the ways his world is shifting around him. Mater's journey, on the other hand, is unexpected, humorous, and deeply human in its appeal. He may not have the sleek lines, the polish, or the racing skill of Lightning, but his courage, his loyalty, and his willingness to embrace the unknown make him the hero that the story truly leans on. When Mater is drawn into the world of espionage, the contrast between the two friends becomes even more pronounced, highlighting the ways in which different kinds of bravery, physical skill versus moral courage, knowledge versus instinct, can both be powerful and essential. As Mater navigates this new, high-stakes environment, the film skillfully blends the thrill of spy adventures with the humor and warmth that fans have come to expect from the Cars universe. Finn McMissile is the archetype of the classic spy, cool, collected, and effortlessly skilled, but he is also a character with depth, someone who recognizes Mater's potential in ways that others don't. Holley Shiftwell, the young and ambitious spy in training, brings her own energy, intelligence, and modern sensibilities into the mix. Her relationship with Mater is both instructive and entertaining. She provides guidance and expertise, but she also learns from Mater's unfiltered honesty, his intuition, and his unshakable loyalty. Together, the trio forms an unlikely team, balancing humor, tension, and action in ways that keep the story both thrilling and emotionally resonant. The World Grand Prix itself serves as the perfect backdrop for the narrative, providing not only a series of visually spectacular racing sequences, but also a metaphorical framework for the story's deeper themes. Each race location, whether it's the winding streets of Europe or the high-tech circuits designed to challenge even the most seasoned drivers, reflect the idea that the journey is as important as the destination. Lightning's focus on the championship parallels parallels the audience's experience of the races, with every turn and maneuver raising the stakes and heightening the excitement. The film doesn't shy away from showing the intensity of competition, the skill required to navigate both literal and figurative curves, and the pressure that comes with striving to be the best. At the same time, the espionage plotline adds layers of suspense and intrigue that transform Cars 2 into something more than a simple racing story. The villains are clever and dangerous, operating in the shadows with motives that intertwine with the World Grand Prix in unexpected ways. Mater, by virtue of his naivete, his curiosity, and his sheer good-heartedness, becomes both a comedic figure and an essential part of the unraveling mystery. The contrast between Mater's bumbling but effective methods and the precise, calculated maneuvers of the spies creates tension, humor, and a sense of unpredictability that drives the story forward. Every interaction, every chase, and every clever twist reinforces the idea that being a hero doesn't always mean being the fastest or the most skilled. It sometimes means being brave, loyal, and willing to do the right thing, even when the odds seem insurmountable. The character arcs in Cars 2 are both clear and compelling. Lightning learns to balance his ambition with his understanding of friendship and teamwork, realizing that success is not solely measured in victories on the track, but also in the relationships he builds along the way. Mater, who starts as the comic relief and lovable sidekick, emerges as a hero in his own right, showing resourcefulness, courage, and a kind of moral clarity that cuts through the sophistication and complexity of the espionage world. Holley Shiftwell gains confidence and maturity, learning to trust her instincts as much as her training. Finn McMissile, meanwhile, demonstrates that experience and knowledge can guide and support those who may initially seem ill-equipped for danger, showing that mentorship and trust are as vital as skill and intelligence. Together, these characters create a story that balances humor, action, and heart in a way that appeals to both children and adults, making the film enjoyable on multiple levels. Visually, Cars 2 is a feast for the eyes. The animation elevates every moment, from the sleek, high-speed racing sequences to the intricate details of international cities and exotic locales. The filmmakers use color, movement, and perspective to immerse the audience in both the excitement of the races and the tension of the espionage adventures. Whether it's the shine of Lightning's paint reflecting the sun, the graceful maneuvering of Mater as he navigates obstacles, or the sophisticated gadgets and vehicles in Finn McMissile's world, every visual element contributes to a sense of immersion and spectacle. The result is a film that is not just watched, but experienced, where the energy of each scene carries the audience along with it.
Humor remains a central pillar of the film, largely carried by Mater's personality and his interactions with the more serious characters around him. His naivete, literal interpretations, and unfiltered reactions to the espionage world provide countless comedic moments that break tension while endearing him to viewers. The contrast between Mater's down-to-earth rustic charm and the sophistication of the spy world creates a dynamic that is both funny and narratively meaningful, reinforcing the theme that authenticity, honesty, and courage often triumph over pretension and calculated cunning. Underlying the spectacle, action, and comedy is a core message about friendship, loyalty, and embracing new experiences. Lightning and Mater's bond is tested in ways it never has been before, and the film explores how differences between friends can be strengths rather than weaknesses. Mater's adventure shows that stepping out of one's comfort zone can lead to growth, unexpected success, and new relationships. The film emphasizes that heroism comes in many forms, that every individual has value, and that courage is not solely defined by physical ability, but by integrity, loyalty, and the willingness to act even when the outcome is uncertain.
The international settings also add depth to the story, giving the narrative a sense of scale and global scope that enhances both the racing and espionage elements. From bustling European streets to sleek high-tech circuits and glamorous spy locales, each environment feels alive and integral to the story. The film's attention to detail in these settings reflects a commitment to world building that is rare for an animated feature, allowing the audience to feel immersed in a universe that is simultaneously familiar and expansive. It's a world where adventure is around every corner, danger lurks in unexpected places, and friendships are tested and strengthened through shared experiences. Action sequences in Cars 2 are crafted with precision, balancing speed, suspense, and visual flair. Races are exhilarating, with Lightning maneuvering through challenging tracks and using skill and strategy to stay ahead of his competitors. Spy sequences, on the other hand, rely on clever problem-solving, quick thinking, and the effective use of gadgets and ingenuity. Mater's involvement in these sequences is particularly engaging, as his unorthodox methods often lead to both comedic mishaps and surprisingly effective solutions. The interplay between carefully choreographed races and unpredictable spy adventures keeps the story fresh, exciting, and engaging, ensuring that the audience is constantly invested in what happens next. The themes of identity, trust, and courage permeate the story. Lightning confronts the pressures of fame, ambition, and performance, learning that personal growth and meaningful connections are just as important as victories. Mater's identity as a loyal, good-hearted friend becomes central to the plot, illustrating that heroism often comes from unexpected sources. Holley Shiftwell's growth as a spy underscores the importance of self-confidence and trust in one's instincts. Finn McMissile's mentorship highlights the value of guidance, experience, and discretion. Together, these elements create a rich tapestry that reinforces the narrative's core emotional and moral core while keeping the action thrilling and entertaining. By the end of the film, the journeys of Lightning and Mater converge in a way that reinforces the story's core values. Lightning's championship ambitions are realized not just through his skill on the track, but through the lessons he has learned about friendship, teamwork, and humility. Mater returns from his espionage adventure not only wiser and more confident, but also deeply appreciated for his courage, resourcefulness, and loyalty. The world has changed around him, and they have changed as well, having experienced a journey that blends excitement, danger, humor, and heart. The story concludes on a note that celebrates friendship, bravery, and the joy of adventure, leaving the audience with a sense of fulfillment, excitement, and inspiration. Ultimately, Cars 2 is more than a simple sequel. It is a multi-layered exploration of friendship, ambition, and the unexpected paths life can take. It challenges the characters and the audience to embrace change, to recognize the many forms heroism can take, and to understand that courage, loyalty, and integrity are often as important as talent, skill, and speed. With its combination of breathtaking visuals, engaging characters, thrilling action, and heartfelt themes, the film captures the imagination while delivering a story that resonates emotionally, creating a cinematic experience that is as fun as it is meaningful. Lightning McQueen and Mater's journey overseas is not just about racing or spying, it's about discovering who they are, the value of their relationships, and the power of stepping into the unknown with courage and heart.